Hey, welcome back to the channel. I've got what was really cool about that sled for cutting tapers is once you cut the first one, you just throw in the second one and cut it as well. So I was actually able to cut both of these lower pieces and actually made like really quick work of it. And when you get this one in position, I want to show you what I'm talking about here. So once this one's in position here, like so, as soon as you cut this piece, all you have to do is grab your rear longeron and you run that through, because this taper here is already pre-established. So where this comes in, and then you're all set with a perfect match just by doing that. So I was able to do the front, and then these are the pieces that come into the front right here, like so, and that goes up to the firewall, and then the rear longeron here. I got the second scarf joint on the top longeron epoxied yesterday. This was the first one, which was really the nicest scarf joint I've ever done. So it came out really perfect. So yeah, so you know what that means. It's time to start assembling a fuselage side, and we have two of them. I'll be using blocks, so the second one will be automatically aligned once it's put in place, and I'll kind of show you how this goes as we crank along here. All right, let's do some of this. All right, so how this process goes is excuse me. First thing I'll do is actually just get this top longeron nailed down. Not nailed down, I'll show you what I mean by nailed down. Just making sure I have it oriented correctly. And then I use a brad nailer in my blocks. So I come in with my brad nailer here, and I just have these blocks that I made when I was putting the wing together. And I just shoot a couple nails in there, and really quick work of getting set up. Alright, so top longeron's in place. Now I'll come around and I'll actually start with this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my block. I'm going to actually set up my block where it's right on the line here. Just going to leave a little bit of a line visible. Sort of like splitting the line. I'll come back here and do the same. And Michael, I just noticed my ring and watch, so I took them off. That was a great tip. You can never be safe enough. So, all right. So then I'll just get this in position where it goes, and make any adjustments that we need to here. And it looks like I just need to adjust this rear block. Which is a good chance for me to show you what I do is if I have to take a block out, I just use my staple puller and I just come underneath it and pop it up. It comes right out. Sometimes the staples, the nails stay on the block, sometimes they stay on the board, so I just take my pliers and just roll it over, pull it from the board. And I'll get this repositioned right where it's dead on here, right there. And then we'll pop another block on the other side. Until I'm satisfied that I'm right on here. All right, good with that. Okay. Now come over here. I'm going to need my ruler probably. Just going to get this in position where it goes. It should be right there. And I'm going to double check my measurement here just to make sure I'm at 5/8. I mean 3/4, not 5/8. 5/8 is going the other direction. So I am right on 3/4. So now that I've got that set, I'm going to come in here and make those couple of registration marks for myself. A couple of registration marks, so when I come back, I can get lined right up. Right now, I need to cut my front piece here, so I'll get this set back where it needs to be. There. And I'll come in here and I'll mark where this comes in here. Basically my firewall. We'll cut and fit that, and then after we do that, we will actually match the second one for the other fuselage side. We'll match it to it. So let me go cut this. Be right back. All right, so I made the second one. get my hose out of here. And now that this one's in position, we're going to come in and get the rear longeron piece in position here. Which should be right there, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to test this up and make sure we have 3/4 of an inch where I've got the overlap there, and everything looks good. We do right on 3/4. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make a couple registration marks. Now I'm going to go back to the very back here. I've already got the top longeron cut to the angle of the rear of the fuselage, and now I'm just going to go back there and actually mark this piece so we can get it cut to the right size. All right, so now I'll get the rear of that cut, and then I will actually match the other rear longeron to it, so that I'll have everything already pre-cut and set up when it comes time to build the second fuselage side frame. The good news is I'll already be I've already got my blocks in place, so it's just a matter of pulling this one out, put the other one in, and going from there. So, all right, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm all set here. I got both pieces cut at the same time, which will be good for the next part. So get that. I'll leave that there. I'll get some blocks in here actually. Just clamp those back in place. Alright, now we'll just make sure we got a nice straight line here. Let's grab a couple more blocks. these blocks I'm actually putting right on the back side of where these vertical members are. So I've got a fixed point there. It's not going to float. And then I'll actually come in between. Okay, I'm just taking a sight line down the rear longeron. Looks dead straight to me, and that feel really good about that. Yeah, of course, this hasn't changed, so this is all nice and straight. So now I've got this all blocked in place. Top longeron, bottom longeron, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my verticals. So I'll start with this piece of RS8 up here at the front end, which just goes right here. It's behind the firewall. And how this actually works, how this works is after you put the when you pull the nose together, you actually end up with an 1/8 inch sheet of plywood that creates a solid firewall between the RS9s that are forward here and the RS8, which is the old 1100R fuselage. So even though I haven't drawn it that way, what I'll end up doing is when I mark I'll assemble this piece here with the RS9, and I'll get all that in place. I'll make a frame basically, and then as soon as that frame is made, then I can put a piece of plywood in between. This is just me thinking through it, so I'll have a piece of plywood in between just as a spacer, and then I'll get this frame epoxied to the fuselage side, because I don't want to break in the fuselage side. It's going to actually come all the way forward to the nose here, so to this shape that you see, this diagonal across the nose and then down, curving down to the to meet up with that lower fuselage section. But I'm a little ways from there, so for now I'm gonna got this RS8 vertical, this RS8 vertical, this RS8 vertical, and then we change to a RS7 RS4, sorry, 5/16 by 5/8. Yep. And we got that one, that one, that one, that one, and then we'll see what's at the rear. I gotta pull the plan up to check that one. But that puts us in a good position to get all these verticals cut and sanded, which means I'll need this guy out. And we'll keep going forward here. Okay, I've got station just 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3 in place. Those fit nice, and I matched them up with another set here for the other side. And now I've got some RS4 here, 5/16 by 5/8, and this is actually for these vertical members back here. That are in the rear part of the fuselage. So I'm going to get those cut now, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I'm going to cut those up, match those. Again, make a double set, so assembling the second side will just go really fast. Won't be any issues there. So moving right along. So I will keep going. All right, so that took me about an hour to get this, all of these kind of cut, mainly because I was cutting pairs. So, but I've got all my pieces here made for the next side, including, the seatbelt attachment point, and you can see here, I've got the fuselage all laid out and blocked in place. These will just get a quick staple. Just to hold them while the epoxy sets, and I might block them in just so they don't move. Maybe they'll. Yeah. So now I'm ready to. I'm ready to get some wax paper under each one of these joints, and as soon as I get that in place, I'll mix up some epoxy, and we'll get all of these glued, and that will be just a huge step, and I'll feel super good about getting that accomplished today. So yeah, this looks really good. I'm super happy, yeah. Let's get some wax paper and get some epoxy. All right, so I'm going to start off with these two scarf joint areas. All right, so I've got everything epoxied in place, and it's doing its thing, drying, curing. I think that's the appropriate word for epoxy. It doesn't necessarily dry; it cures. So it looks really good. I just use some staples at certain places just to make sure things don't move, and most everything is flat to the table, so it's not really a concern for that to move. I do have a couple of I think I'm going to use a couple of my weights here. I just noticed that the very front here was coming up, so put a couple weights on that, hold that down. I'll do the same over here. I think we're good there. And I think I had maybe right in here. No, that's pretty good there, actually. So these are all in place, and just had to throw in a couple staples there to make sure that was staying where it belonged. And we're all good back here. And this side that's up right now, this will actually be the side that gets the plywood on it. So all of these joints are reinforced in multiple ways. So at first it may feel just a little bit flimsy, but I remember from last time, as you work through this fuselage, man, every step it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's really cool. But first you build ladders, and then you go from there. So this one's curing. Everything's cut for the next one, and yeah, my time's up for today. And as always, I will catch you later.